You've been lied to about power your entire life because the strongest woman who ever lived had no crown, no army, no wealth, yet her name echoes in the Quran forever. Pause. While the world chases fame, she chose faith. While people seek validation, she stood alone, with nothing but her trust in Allah. Today, inspired by reflections often shared by Steve Harvey, we talk about a woman the world doesn't hype enough, yet heaven honors her above millions. Her name is Maryam, the mother of Jesus Christ, peace be upon them. She wasn't surrounded by comfort. She was surrounded by trial. She faced accusations without defending herself. She endured pain without losing faith. She stood alone, yet she was never abandoned. This is real power. Not loud, not flashy, but unshakable. When the world would have broken, she trusted. When fear could have consumed her, she surrendered to Allah. And that's what Islam teaches us. Power is not in what you have, power is in what you believe. Steve Harvey reflects on this truth, that Maryam's story isn't just history. It's a message that your struggles do not define your weakness, they reveal your strength. A message that dignity in hardship is louder than any success. A message that Allah sees what people don't. Maryam didn't chase the world, yet the world remembers her. She didn't seek attention, yet Allah gave her honor beyond time. So ask yourself, are you chasing power or are you building it within your soul? Because the strongest people are not those who control others. They are the ones who trust Allah when everything is falling apart. People often grow up believing that power looks a certain way. They think it lives in expensive things and loud voices and people who are always seen, always praised, always followed. They think power belongs to those who have money, status, and influence over others. But as life unfolds, reality slowly teaches a very different lesson. The truth is, real power is not something you can always see. It does not shine on the outside, and it does not need approval from the world to exist. Real power lives quietly within a person, rooted deep in their heart, their faith, and their ability to remain strong even when everything around them feels like it is falling apart. There are people in this world who appear powerful because they control others, because they have a large audience, or because they can easily get what they want. But take a closer look, and you may find that many of them are struggling internally. Their strength depends on what they have, not on who they are. And when what they have is taken away, their sense of power disappears. This kind of strength is temporary, it is fragile, and it can break under pressure. On the other hand, there are people who may not have much in terms of material things, yet they carry a calmness, a patience, and a strength that cannot be shaken. They face hardships, but they do not lose themselves. They go through pain, but they do not give up. They stand firm, not because life is easy for them, but because they have something inside them that keeps them grounded. That inner strength is what real power looks like. Faith plays a huge role in building this kind of power. When a person truly believes in Allah, they begin to understand that everything happening in their life has a purpose. This belief gives them peace in moments of chaos and hope in moments of despair. They do not panic when things go wrong because they trust that there is wisdom behind every difficulty. This trust does not remove the pain, but it gives them the strength to carry it with patience and dignity. Inner resilience is another part of this invisible power. Life is full of tests, and no one can escape them. Everyone faces moments where they feel weak, lost, or overwhelmed. But resilience is what allows a person to keep going. It is the ability to stand back up after being knocked down. It is the courage to move forward, even when the path is unclear. This kind of strength is not loud or dramatic. It is quiet and steady, growing stronger with every challenge a person overcomes. When someone has this inner strength, they do not need to prove themselves to others. They are not chasing validation or trying to impress the world. They are focused on becoming better, on strengthening their connection with Allah, and on staying true to their values. Their confidence comes from within, not from the opinions of others. And this makes them unshakable, because the world can only control you if your sense of worth depends on it. It is important to understand that real strength does not mean a person never feels pain or fear. Even the strongest people experience moments of doubt and sadness. But what makes them different is how they respond to those feelings. They do not let their emotions control their action. Instead, they turn to their faith, they practice patience, and they remind themselves that every hardship will pass. They learn to manage their struggles instead of being defeated by them. This kind of power also shows itself in the way a person treats others. Someone who is truly strong does not need to put others down to feel important. They do not use harshness or arrogance to prove their worth. Instead, they show kindness, compassion, and understanding. They lift others up even when they are struggling themselves. This is because their strength is not built on ego, but on sincerity and humility. In a world that constantly tells people to be more, have more, and show more, it can be difficult to focus on building inner strength. Social media, society, and even people around us often highlight external success as the ultimate goal. But if a person spends their entire life chasing these things without working on their inner self, they may end up feeling empty, no matter how much they achieve. Real power is not about being seen. It is about being strong when no one is watching. It is about staying patient when no one understands your struggle. It is about trusting Allah when you cannot see the outcome. It is about holding on to your values even when it is easier to let them go. This kind of strength takes time to build, but once it is there, nothing can easily take it away. Every challenge in life is an opportunity to grow this invisible power. Every hardship can either break a person or make them stronger. The difference lies in how they choose to respond. If they turn to faith, practice patience, and continue moving forward, they slowly build a strength that cannot be measured by the world. In the end, people may not always notice this kind of power. It may not bring fame or recognition, but it brings something far more valuable. It brings peace. It brings stability. It brings a sense of purpose that does not depend on changing circumstances. And most importantly, it brings a person closer to Allah. That is the kind of power that truly matters. Not the one that fades with time, but the one that stays with you through every stage of life. Not the one that depends on the world, but the one that connects you to something greater. Real strength is not about what you show. It is about what you carry inside your heart. And that is something no one can take away from you. Maryam has lived a life that most people would not be able to Arabic clam even for a single day. Her story is not just about one moment of difficulty, but a series of tests that came one after another, each heavier than the last. Yet what makes her truly remarkable is not just what she went through, but how she went through it, with calmness, dignity, and complete trust in Allah. She grew up in purity and devotion, dedicated to worship from a very young age. She was known among her people for her modesty, her sincerity, and her strong connection with Allah. People respected her and her life was peaceful. But sometimes the people closest to Allah are tested in ways that others cannot even imagine. One day everything changed. Without any wrongdoing, without any mistake, she was chosen for a test that would shake her entire life. She was given the news that she would have a child, a miracle, but also a trial. In that society, this was not something people would understand. It was something that would lead to questions, accusations, and judgment. Imagine being in her place. A young woman known for her purity suddenly facing a situation where people would doubt her character. People would talk. People would accuse. People would not listen. This is where most people would panic. They would try to defend themselves or even break under the pressure. But Maryam responded different. She did not run to people for validation. She did not argue with everyone around her. Instead, she turned to Allah. Her heart was connected to her Creator, and that connection gave her strength that no human support could give. Even when she felt fear, even when she felt pain, she did not lose her trust. She knew that Allah is aware of everything, and that was enough for her. There were moments when the pain became overwhelming. There were moments when she felt completely alone. At one point, the difficulty became so intense that she wished for relief from it. This shows her humanity. She was not made of stone. She felt everything deeply. But even in that state, she did not lose her Arabicality, Arabic meme, Arabic knew. She did not question Allah with arrogance or anger. Instead, her Arabic sham, Arabic bay remained soft and connected. And then, in her most difficult moment, Allah provided for her in ways she could never expect. She was not abandoned. She was not forgotten. When she had no one, Allah was there for her. When she returned to her people carrying her child, the situation became even harder. People began to speak. They pointed fingers. They accused her without knowing the truth. They judged her based on what they saw, not what was real. This is one of the hardest tests a person can face, being misunderstood. Most people cannot tolerate this. When someone is falsely accused, the natural reaction is to defend yourself immediately, to prove your innocence, to fight back. But Maryam has remained calm. She did not shout. She did not argue. She did not lose her dignity. Instead, she trusted that Allah would defend her. And that is exactly what happened. Without her needing to speak, the truth became clear. Allah himself cleared her name in a way that no human effort could ever achieve. This teaches us a powerful lesson. When you remain patient and trust Allah, He can solve problems in ways you cannot even imagine. Maryam teaches us that dignity is not about never facing problems. It is about how you behave when problems come. She shows us that you can go through the most painful experiences, still remain strong inside. You can be hurt, but not broken. You can be tested, but not defeated. Her story reminds us that people will not always understand you. They will judge you based on what they see. They may say things that hurt you deeply, but you do not have to respond to everything. You do not have to prove yourself to everyone. Sometimes the strongest response is silence and trust. She also teaches us that being close to Allah does not mean you will have an easy life. In fact, sometimes it means your tests will be greater, but with those tests comes a higher level of strength, a deeper level of Arabic Caliph, Arabic Farsi, Arabic meme, Arabic Caliph, Arabic noon, and a reward that is beyond this world. Maryam did not become powerful because of wealth or status. She became powerful because of her patience, her purity, and her unwavering trust in Allah. Even today, her name is remembered with respect and honor. Not because she chased recognition, but because she stayed true to her faith when it mattered the most. Her life is a reminder that no matter how difficult your situation is, you are never alone. Allah sees your struggle, He knows your pain. And if you remain patient and trust Him, He will take care of you in the best way. In a world where people react quickly, speak loudly, and lose control easily, Maryam stands as an example of calm strength. A strength that does not need to prove itself, because it is already rooted in faith. And that is the kind of strength that truly lasts. Faith over fear is not just a beautiful phrase, it is a way of living that changes how a person faces life. It means choosing to trust even when things don't make sense, choosing to stay calm when everything feels like it is falling apart, and believing that there is a purpose behind every hardship. The story of Maryam, the mother of Jesus Christ, peace be upon them, shows us what it truly means to live with faith instead of fear. Maryam's life was not easy. She did not grow up surrounded by luxury or attention. Instead, she lived a life of Arabic queen, Arabic alif, Arabic dollar, Arabic ta, worship, silence, and deep connection with Allah. She was known for her purity, her modesty, and her strong belief. But even with all this, she was chosen for a test that no ordinary person could imagine. She was given a responsibility that would shake her entire world. When she was told that she would have a child without a father, her first reaction was human. She was surprised, confused, and afraid. This moment shows us something very important. Even the strongest believers feel fear. Faith does not mean you never feel scared. It means you don't let that fear control your decisions. Maryam could have panicked. She could have questioned everything. She could have allowed fear to take over her heart. But instead, she listened, she trusted, and she accepted the will of Allah. This is where faith becomes stronger than fear. It is not about having no Arabic hit, Arabic qual, Arabic fear. It is about having more trust than fear. As time passed, her test became harder. She had to face society. She had to deal with what people would say, how they would judge her, and how they would look at her. Imagine being in a situation where people misunderstand you completely, where they accuse you without knowing the truth, and where you have no way to defend yourself. This kind of situation breaks many people, creates anxiety, stress, and deep sadness. But Maryam did something different. She stayed silent. She did not fight back with Singer. She did not try to prove herself to people. Instead, she put her trust completely in Allah. This teaches us a powerful lesson. Not every battle needs your voice. Some battles need your patience and your trust in Allah's plan. There came a moment when her pain became so intense that she felt completely alone. She went away from people, carrying her burden by herself. In that moment, she expressed her pain. She felt the weight of everything she was going through. This shows us again that faith does not remove hardship. Even the strongest people feel overwhelmed sometimes. But what matters is what you do next. Maryam did not lose hope. Even in that moment of weakness, she remained connected to Allah, and that connection became her strength. Allah did not leave her alone. Help came in ways she could not expect. Comfort came when she needed it the most. This is the beauty of faith. When you hold on even a little Allah takes care of the rest. Her story teaches us that fear often comes from uncertainty. We get scared when we don't know what will happen next. We worry about people's opinions, about our future, about things going wrong. But faith changes how we see these fears. It reminds us that nothing happens without Allah's knowledge. It reminds us that every test has a purpose, even if we cannot see it right away. In today's world, people are constantly under pressure. There is pressure to succeed, to look perfect, to be accepted by others. Social media makes it even harder because everyone seems to be living a perfect life. This creates fear inside people. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of not being enough. Maryam's story gives a completely different message. It tells us that your worth is not defined by people. It is defined by your relationship with Allah, even when people misunderstood her. Allah was high. This is something we often forget. We try to please Arabic Khalif, Arabic clam, Arabic Khalif, Arabic scene. People, but we forget to focus on pleasing Allah. Choosing faith over fear means changing your mindset. It means reminding yourself that difficulties are temporary. It means believing that every problem has a solution, even if you cannot see it right now. It means trusting that Allah's plan is better than your plan. It also means being patient. Patience is not just waiting. It is waiting with trust. It is staying strong without complaining too much. It is continuing to believe that something good will come out of your situation. Maryam showed this kind of patience. She did not rush. She did not lose control. She stayed firm. Another important lesson is that you don't have to have everything figured out. Many people feel anxious because they want to control every part of their life. They want clear answers and perfect plans. But life does not work like that. Sometimes you have to move forward without knowing everything. That is where faith comes in. When you choose faith, you accept that you are not in control of everything. And that is okay. You do your best and you leave the rest to Allah. This brings peace to your heart. It removes unnecessary stress. It gives you the strength to keep going even when things are difficult. Maryam's story is not just a story from the past. It is a lesson for today. It reminds us that no matter how hard your situation is, you are not alone. It reminds us that fear is natural, but it should not be stronger than your faith. It reminds us that Allah is always near, always watching, and always ready to help. Choosing faith over fear is a daily decision. Every day you will face situations that test you. You will feel worried, confused, and sometimes even lost. But in those moments, you have a choice. You can let fear take over, or you can hold on to faith. And when you choose faith, even in the smallest way, you become stronger. Not because your problems disappear, but because your heart becomes stronger than your problems. That is the power of faith. Islam teaches a way of looking at people that is very different from how the world usually judges them. In many places today, a person's value is often measured by how much money they have, how famous they are, or how much attention they receive. People are praised for their appearance, their lifestyle, or their social status, but Islam shifts this entire mindset. It teaches that a person is not honored because of what they own, but because of who they are inside. This is why the story of Maryam, Mary, the mother of Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, is so powerful. She was not a queen. She did not live a life of luxury. She was not surrounded by wealth or influence. In fact, her life was filled with challenges that most people would struggle to Arabic Hebti, Arabic mean Arabic lamb. Yet, despite all of this, she is one of the most honored women in the Quran. This shows us something very deep. Honor in Islam does not come from status. It comes from character. Maryam's life was a reflection of purity, not just in a physical sense, but in her heart, her intentions, and her relationship with Allah. She was sincere in her Arabic day, Arabic worship, devoted in her actions and mindful of her responsibilities. She did not seek attention or recognition from people. She lived quietly, focusing on her connection with Allah, and that is what raised her status. In today's world, people often feel pressure to prove themselves to others. They want to be seen, liked, and admired. Social media has made this even stronger, where people constantly compare their lives with others. But Maryam's story teaches us that you do not need to be seen by the world to be valued. You only need to be seen by Allah. Her strength was not loud or aggressive. It was calm, patient, and deeply rooted in faith. When she faced one of the most difficult tests, carrying a child without a husband, she did not react with panic or anger. She turned to Allah. Even when she felt overwhelmed, her Arabic by heart remained connected to her Creator. Imagine the weight of that situation. The fear of what people would say, the loneliness, the emotional pain, all of it was real. Yet she did not lose her dignity. She did not compromise her value. She remained strong, not because she had support from people, but because she had trust in Allah. This is what Islam honors in a woman. Not how popular she is, not how many people follow her, not how much wealth she has, but how she carries herself when life becomes difficult. Her patience, her modesty, her Arabic mean. Arabic noon, faith to stay firm when everything around her is uncertain. Maryam did not defend herself in front of people. She did not argue or try to prove her innocence through words. Instead, she relied on Allah, defended her in a way that no human ever could. This teaches us a very powerful lesson. Sometimes silence with trust in Allah is stronger than 1,000 arguments. In a world where people are quick to judge and criticize, it is easy to feel broken or misunderstood. But Maryam's story reminds us that people's opinions do not define us. What truly matters is what Allah knows about us. He sees what is hidden. He understands what others cannot. Another important lesson from her life is that strength is not always visible. Many people think strength means being loud, dominant, or in control. But Maryam's strength was different. It was the ability to stay pure in a world full of distractions. It was the courage to trust Allah when the future looked uncertain. It was the patience to endure pain without losing faith. This kind of strength is rare, but it is also the most powerful. Islam does not ignore the role or importance of women. In fact, it elevates them in a unique and respectful way. Women like Maryam are examples for all humanity, not just for women. Her story is not limited to a specific time or place. It continues to inspire people today because it speaks to something universal, the struggle to stay true to your values in a challenging world. Her honor was not temporary. It was not based on trends or opinions. It was given by Allah. Anything given by Allah is lasting. This is very different from the kind of honor people seek today, which can disappear quickly. Fame fades, beauty changes, and status can be lost. But character remains. This is why Islam focuses so much on building the inside of a person. A clean heart, sincere intention, and strong faith are more valuable than anything material. When a person develops these qualities, they gain a kind of respect that cannot be taken away. Maryam's life is a reminder that you do not need to fit into the world's definition of success to be truly successful. You do not need to follow trends, or seek approval from Arabic Khalif, Arabic Leon, Arabic Khalif, Arabic Sing people. You only need to stay connected to Allah and remain true to your values. Her story also teaches patience. Sometimes life does not go the way we expect. We face difficulties, misunderstandings, and moments of loneliness. In those moments, it is easy to question everything. But Maryam shows us that even in the hardest times, there is wisdom and purpose. Allah's plan is always greater than what we can see. In the end, Maryam's greatness was not in what she had, but in who she was. Her purity, her strength, and her devotion made her one of the most honored women in Islam. And her story continues to remind us that true honor is not something you chase. It is something you build within yourself through faith, patience, and sincerity. This is the beauty of Islam. It does not measure you by your yay, shan, ya, outer life, but by your inner reality. And when that inner reality is strong, no challenge can truly break you. You know, life has a way of testing us when we least expect it. We all face moments when it feels like everything is against us, like the world has decided to turn its back. It can be a sudden loss, a dream that doesn't go as planned, a betrayal by someone we trust, or even the quiet, constant struggles that seem small but pile up over time. In those moments, it's easy to feel weak, to think that maybe we are not strong enough, that maybe we are failing. But here's the truth. These moments are not signs that you are weak. In fact, they are the moments that are shaping your strength. They are the moments that are showing you what you are truly made of. When we see someone like Mary, the mother of Jesus, in the Quran, we realize that life's struggles are never meaningless. She faced trials that most of us can hardly imagine. She was young, she was alone, and she was accused unjustly, yet she never lost faith. She didn't have armies or wealth to protect her. She didn't have people defending her name. What she had was something much greater: trust, courage, and patience. Her life teaches us that hardships are not punishment. They are opportunity. They are opportunities to rise, to grow, and to discover strength you never knew existed inside you. Sometimes the struggle feels heavy, and it can make you question everything about yourself. You might ask, oh, why me?
Why am I going through this? And that is natural. But the reality is, struggle is not about what happens to you. It's about what you do with what happens to you. It's about how you respond when life pushes you to the edge.
The true measure of strength is not how easy your life is, but how you handle the hard moments. Every trial, every setback, every disappointment has the power to teach you something important about resilience, about patience, and about who you are at your core. Imagine being in Maryam's place, young, facing judgment and misunderstanding, carrying the weight of responsibilities and expectations. Most people would crumble under such pressure, yet she didn't. Why? Because she understood that true power is quiet and steady. True power is faith in action, even when the world seems against you. It is believing in yourself, even when others doubt you. It is staying committed to your path, even when no one else supports you. Struggles are not obstacles to stop you, they are tests to prepare you. They are like fire forging the strongest steel. And here's the thing, strength built through struggle is unshakable. It's not based on luck or circumstance. It's not borrowed from others. It is yours, deeply rooted inside, created through experience, patience, and perseverance. When life knocks you down again and again, and yet you keep getting up, that is the kind of strength that no one can take away. That is the kind of strength that inspires others. That is the kind of strength that changes the world quietly without seeking recognition or applause. Think about the people you admire the most. I guarantee you they are not the ones who had everything handed to them. They are the ones who faced the impossible and didn't give up. They are the ones who fell countless times, who experienced failures, heartbreaks, and challenges, yet found a way to keep moving forward. Their strength is a testament to the fact that life's hardships are not meant to break us. They are meant to build us. Every struggle you face today is preparing you for the victories of tomorrow. Every difficulty is teaching you resilience, humility, and courage. Every pain is reminding you that you are stronger than you think. And it's not just about surviving. It's about what you learn and who you become in the process. Struggles teach empathy, patience, and compassion. They teach you to value the things that truly matter. They teach you to stand firm in your beliefs, even when the world around you is unstable. When you overcome a challenge, you don't just gain an experience. You gain a deeper understanding of yourself, a confidence that comes from knowing you have endured and prevailed. You discover a power that cannot be taken from you, a spiritual strength that remains with you through every storm. Maryam's life reminds us that no struggle is wasted. Even the moments of fear, uncertainty, and pain have a purpose. They are shaping you into a person who can face life with courage, who can inspire others with their resilience, who can turn trials into triumphs. Struggles reveal the strength you didn't know you had. They remind you that weakness is not defined by falling, but by giving up. Many people think strength comes from power, money, or influence. They believe that controlling circumstances makes you strong. But true strength is not about controlling the world. It is about controlling yourself when the world feels uncontrollable. Even in your darkest hours, trust guides you. Even when everything is uncertain, belief makes you unshakable. Remember that life is temporary, but the lessons of faith are eternal. The struggles you face today are shaping the strength you will carry for tomorrow.